June 7th, 2021. We're back at it again, boys and girls, ladies and gents. It's Monday Fun Day. Glad to be back. Glad you made it. It's another So-So production. That's right, thank you, and welcome back. If you're a long-time listener, thank you for all the love and support. If you're just tuning in, it's your first time, buckle up, strap up. It's going to be a bumpy one today. Or not, who knows? We always keep it loosey-goosey around here. Let's get a sip of this bad boy coffee. We'll get right into it. Monday, fun day. Things are heating up, boys and girls, ladies and gents, things are heating up. Talking about the temperature, so stay hydrated, get that H to the ISO and that bod, all right? You're made up of like 75%, 80%, some of you guys 99% pushing water, dude. I don't know your composition, but you're pushing water inside that body, so make sure it's balanced. Level that bad boy up. Man, oh man, here we are, man. I'm so excited. It's spring, almost summer. The weather is definitely changing its tune. It's been getting nice and hot in Toronto and the GTA area. I've not had the chance to go out to the beaches yet, but you know your boy is gonna definitely dip his toe in the water. You know what I'm talking about. Go for that swim. Go for that swim in Lake Ontario, Woodbine Beach, the Bluffs. That's what I'm talking about. But sometimes it's like, you know, it's to your own discretion, right? It's not the cleanest of waters, but it's not the dirtiest of waters, I'll tell you that. And yeah, man, once, twice, 3 times, maybe you take a dip, it's all good. Who knows? Maybe you'll end up getting some extra powers. You never know. Man, oh man, what have I been doing on the weekend? Let's do a little recap. Let's do a little bit of recap. What have you guys been up to? A lot of exciting things are happening. There was a great fight on the weekend. Last night was Mayweather versus Logan Paul. Happened to catch it. It was nice. You know, I wasn't expecting a full-on like professional boxing match. It was an exhibition. All right, it was entertaining. It was for entertainment purposes. Got mad respect for Floyd. He's the champ, one of the greatest to ever go out and do it. Again, I'm not a boxing expert by any stretch of the imagination, and I like the fact that somebody, you know, is willing to step out of their comfort zone. Logan Paul, you know, not a professional boxer. I don't know too much about the dude, but the fact that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, doing something different, I like it. I like it, and you know what? Shout out to everybody else who was involved, and it's just nice to see people gathering in a venue. It wasn't obviously packed. It wasn't a packed house. We're still not doing that, but it's just a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. You know, it's a little bit of a beacon of hope, because right here in Canada, we're keeping things locked down, man. We're keeping it locked down. It's getting a little bit silly-willy at this point. Let's open her up. Let's open her up. Let's get people going. Places, indoors, outdoors, on top of each other's, stack up like Legos. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Do it. Taking our time, but it's like it doesn't make sense at this point. You know, we set dates, like it's just, you know, people have gotten vaccinated. Most people who were supposed to get it, you know, went and got it. I'm talking about the schmovid, if you were, and everybody else is just, you know, we've had over a year of practice of how to behave and like. What's the trick? The trick is you give yourself a little bit of space. You give some people some space, and you do as you wish. You live life to the fullest. But it's time that we get things opened up in here, because your boys got to go out there and do different things, and it requires people and places. That's what I'm talking about. But that's, you know, we're getting there. I hope we're getting there. Definitely, I hear it. I hear the chitter chatter. Even amongst my neighbors, I'll have a brief conversation with a fella next door or a fella downstairs. You know, everybody's talking. Have you gotten vaccinated? I'll be like, no, I've not gotten vaccinated. Have you gotten vaccinated? They'd be like, yeah, I got vaccinated. Sweet. To each their own, and everybody's just ready to pounce on the opportunities that are awaiting them. And I'm excited, man, because it's summertime, and let's get that momentum going. I feel bad for our kids down here. Thank God I don't know if it's whether I should be happy that I don't have kids, or whether I should be sad that I'm, whatever, it is what it is. The thing is that it's rough being a parent, man. Rough being a parent. I don't know the first thing about what it takes to be a parent, because I'm not there yet. who knows if I'll ever be there, but that's the thing right now. It's like, you know, the kids they're not going back to school. It's this year is done. This year is done, bro. What are you doing? Is there even a, wait, it's already hard enough to, you know, get kids to like stay focused and concentrated with everything that they're juggling, this, that, and the other, and you know, and giving them a year off school. Not the smartest move. Not the smartest move, dude. I was hoping Dougie Ford would go ahead and open things up, but no, he's just, you know, taking his sweet ass time. So it is what it is, and we'll have to deal with it one step at a time. You know, a little bit disappointed. A little bit disappointed. Not gonna lie to you. Not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, I'm all good with everything the way it is. No, dude, I like to see things open up. I like us to be a little bit, you know, it's been more than a year. Quit being a little, you know, quit being a little, you know? Don't gotta explicitly say it, but quit being a little, you know, and open her up, baby. Yeah, same with Justin T, dude. Open her up, bad boy. Open that bad boy up. Let's see what's inside. Open her up, dude. Yo, one of my favorite songs. Okay. One of my favorite songs right now, no joke, dude. Jelly Roll and Andrew Schultz, dude. Open her up. It slaps, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I've been playing it on my Spotify and singing along. If you've not listened to this song, please go listen to it because it fucking slaps, dude. How do the lyrics go? Let me just see if I can recollect. Open her up like a bag of, no, open her up like a jar of weed. Open her up like a bag. Where does it go? Fuck, I forget. Open her up like a can of beans. Open her up like a jar of weed. Open her up like Forrest Whitaker's eyes. Open her up, let's see what's inside. Dude, it's funny, it slaps, it's got a little bit of country, it's got a little bit of hip hop. I can't lie, I'm loving it. Open her up. Seriously, let's open her up. Like a can of worms, dude. God. I like it when people do different things, when people collaborate, whether it's in, yeah, man, there's so many great people doing great things, and it's just entertaining, and it's funny, and it's, anyways, moving on, man. Okay, shit that I want to talk to you guys about today. What are we here to talk about? I mean, I've been doing a little bit of research, a little bit of this, that, and the other, because I like to stay informed, like to make good decisions, and like figure it out and help myself out a little bit, help everybody else out a little bit. Let's, you know, I was just was watching, trying to get educated on crypto a little bit, because it's like the way I see it, it's regardless of whether we like to believe in a type of crypto coin or, you know, whatever, there's so many different types. The dominant one's always been, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and now there's, you know, talks, you know, every time Elon Musk gets on Twitter and like tweets something, you know, you see prices fluctuate, this, that, and the other. Regardless of all the, you know, I'm just trying to look at it objectively, trying to, regardless of all the hype, regardless of all the, you know, little, you know, the human aspects that go into everything. We like, we're like little monkeys, right? We like figuring out little things, like pulling tricks on each other, just, you know, we're still at that infancy or adolescent stage, societally speaking. Individuals are at different, you know, places in their lives, but like as a whole, sometimes we really act. So it's just like, yeah, there's this great tech out there potentially, and I like the concept of a blockchain, dude. I like the concept of a blockchain as much as I can understand and comprehend it. It will definitely allow for people to be able to track transactions, which is nice. If you spent $1, for example, you know that, you know, I gave it to you, you bought something, you hold on to that, and it's like transcribed somewhere, it's written down, and it's checked by other people, so we know where the money's going, sweet, and for what, cool beans. But it's, you know, some things that just like Satoshi Nakamoto, am I saying that right? Hopefully, who cares? Doesn't matter. The dude that the dude or the lady or the group, who knows, whoever's behind Bitcoin essentially. It's funny to me because the whole point of like Bitcoin and crypto is supposed to be, doing a little bit of that, providing a little bit of transparency essentially. But you don't know who this guy is. You don't know if it's a person, a lady, or a male, or a group of people, or is it like, are they tied to the government? Whose government? Probably, whatever. It is what it is. We're not going to speculate. But things that I'd like to see is like, okay, cool, we got this tech, and what are the other practical implications? I'm trying to I watched a good portion of the Lex Friedman interview with the co-founder of Ethereum, Vitalik. Am I saying his name right? Let me just quickly look it up. I hate effing up people's names, dude, but there's only so much info one can cram in their little noggin. Bear with me a few seconds, and again, this is a one-man band here, for the most part. Yeah, Vitalik Buterin, alright? Shout out to everybody doing positive things, good things. Seems like a smart dude, seems like a good dude. Bear with me a few seconds. Sometimes the camera there we go. Perfect. Sometimes it just likes to, move a little bit here and there on its own, but just managed to fix it. What are we talking about? We're talking about Bitcoin and crypto, and again, I try to listen to the entire podcast. Still got a little bit of it to finish because I like to stay informed, and I like to, get educated on different things that are in our world, in our ether, in our everyday lives, beginning to, emerge in the zeitgeist. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's like, do you have a little bit of this? Do you have a little bit of that? Should you have a little bit of this? Should you have a little bit of that? Who knows? And there's so many different types of coins, and crypto is definitely a game changer. Like, here's the thing. Long term, we've been slowly, through generations, through history, getting or evolving money essentially, just like everything else. We went from gold to coins to different types of, you guys know what I'm talking about, silver, copper, all that jazz. And then we went to paper, and then we went to plastic, and then that started to disappear as well. So everything's just moving online essentially. At the end of the day, we're all just going to end up, singularity, baby. We're going to be just numbers walking around. It might not even be on your phone. It might just be a little, who knows. But essentially, we're getting rid of all the things that you need to carry because, we're going to Mars and stuff. You can't you can't have extra baggage. Leave the baggage down here. No baggage allowed. Or extra baggage, rather. Sirens going off in the background. Shout out. That's somebody going out to the emergency room. Do it. Hopefully, they're doing well. Point is that we can't be carrying around a lot of extra baggage, but what I'm trying to grasp is this going to be, I've not yet heard any ways of, crypto being essentially a solution to our problem. What's our problem? What's your problem, dude? You got qualms, baby? What's your beef? And I'm talking about, the good old haves versus have-nots situation. Yeah, let's just call a spade a spade. Is crypto going to be an answer to uplifting more people, or is it just going to become another added badge of honor, if you will, or another little social or a little social class you can attain, or a little class you can attain with just getting this thing? You know what I mean? It's just because which country is it? I forget. Was it? I forget which country. Bear with me a few seconds. I've been looking at a lot of things, but a couple of countries, or one country at least, is trying to. Let me see this. I did not write it down, but it doesn't matter. One of the countries, I believe it's a South American country, is actually trying to make Bitcoin their currency essentially, because their own currency has been devalued to the point that it's just, it's hyper inflation, and there's no point of having their own currency at this point. So they're taking it to their parliament or their whoever's in charge of passing their laws. Is it there? I don't know. I forget. I forget. Don't hold me on this, but like, don't quote me on that bad boy. But there have been talks. I know a lot of countries are trying to like, utilize crypto so that they can, generate some money or get around sanctions, this, that, and different countries use it for different. And again, it's just another tool. So is it good? Is it bad? It just really depends on the people. It's just like anything else, because a lot of times initially in the early stages of like crypto, we were like, it's just for like, it's for the black market, it's for people doing sketchy things. And initially maybe it might have just been for that, but other than that, it moved, it evolved, other people got access to it, it's becoming more and more normal, people are talking about it. And at the same time, it's like we do see inflation everywhere, we do see trends shifting, we do see a lot of things shifting. Oh boy, this camera's just like acting out weird today. Sorry, you guys. It just keeps turning on its head. All right, here we go. Sorry about that, I lost the train of my thought. What I'm trying to figure out is, can we, if this is like a legitimate tool, is there a way to use it to actually uplift everybody or give everybody a chance to get out of, because let's realistically look at the circumstances. There's a lot of haves and have-nots. There's really no middle ground, especially after the year that we've had. So many businesses have gone down, so many people are hurting out there, and cost of everything keeps increasing. So are we creating another tool just to add another burden to people, or is this going to be an actual tool that we can use to alleviate some societal pains? You know what I'm talking about? Can people be like, okay, this is legitimate, can I invest X amount and get some sort of a money in return or something? But like, that's the thing, when I'm just thinking about these things, what are we doing? I'm just trying to figure out, what are we doing? Is this just going to be another form of us becoming like, bonded with this another, I'm trying to figure out if it's a good thing or a bad thing. If it can, like, just like anything else, I guess it really depends on the people. But with money, it's kind of like, systemically, institutionally, it's set up so that those with a lot of money can benefit and have, ever-growing income or surplus in their bank accounts, and those who don't have too much, it really becomes a difficult task. So I'm just wondering if this can actually be utilized in a positive format, or is it going to just become another thing? So I'm still doing my research, and I like to be informed. And it's a lot of, when you listen to people who are proponents of anything, when anybody's a proponent of anything, you gotta like listen to them and take it with a grain of salt. And that's what I'm doing. And not to say, but I would hope that we can actually like create a way where we don't rely on money as much for things. And I understand you got to keep people incentivized, but at the same time, it's like, here's the thing. Right now we live in a de-incentivized society. That's the thing. A lot of times I'll be reading articles where even though people are, starting to open up their businesses, there are not as many workers going back. Why? Because, well, wages are just insufficient, whether it's $10 or $14 or even $20. With the cost of living these days, it's just not sufficient. So you'll notice a lot of people are like, you know what, forget about it. I'm just gonna try to do my own thing. And hats off to anybody going out there doing their own thing. That's what I'm trying to do my own thing. But at the end of the day, you do rely on some sort of a monetary reward. Until we can collectively evolve to something else, we do got to figure that bad boy out, because it's one of those like fundamental issues that causes a lot of concerns in all our lives. So let's get that bad boy figured out somehow. I'm just putting out questions, man. I don't know what I'm talking about. You guys should ask more questions. Let's figure it out. Is it a big old Ponzi scheme, or is it perhaps a method to help everybody get elevated? And we'll figure it out. And hopefully people will be doing good things. And I believe for the majority of things, people try to do positive things. So I bet it has its, little quirks that need to be tweaked here and there. But down the line, I definitely do see, us moving away from paper money or credit cards and everything, just literally moving online and being tracked online. You don't actually need to take anything in and out of your bank account, it'll just be, transfer of digits over to people. That's very, like, that's put in extremely, like, layman's terms, and that's the way I kind of understand it. But anyways, moving on, man, moving on. What else is new? What else is new? Well, there's been a lot of reports coming out, and this is always, I had my suspicions from the get-go. I'm talking about the origins of Schmovit, dude. Where did it come from? What was it doing out there? A lot of people originally speculated it was just the bats, dude. It's the Batman and the Batwoman getting together, doing a freaky deaky dance and spreading them germs around. And it's not the case. It's not the case. I had my suspicions, and again, things are coming out little by little, but it's like, at the end of the day, I don't know if I should be happy or sad, because, like, if it's not from a bat or a wet market, which I didn't suspect it would be, and if it is from a lab, I don't know how much better that's going to make me feel. And if it's from a lab, and if it's been, if it got leaked from, here's the thing, it's this is the issue that I've got with this whole situation. We keep politics, money, everything kind of goes hand in hand, and even like science and everything, so that's the thing we've come to. I think it's we come to want to progress, I guess, and advance. So we go ahead and, like, invest in different things, and sometimes we invest in scientific research, and we don't necessarily ask all the questions we should be asking. And it seems to me that right now is one of those circumstances where money, politics, perhaps a little bit of greed have, formulated somewhat of a marriage with science. And in the, although we can always be, I love science, dude. Who doesn't love science? A lot of our, we save a ton of lives through medicine, through technological advancements. Giddy up science. But I have a problem where it's like, you find an individual and you give them a ton of money, and you give them a status, and you give them a power position, and you put them in charge, and they're not checked. So they go, they go unchecked for a little while, and they start running research centers or labs. And again, I'm not, I try to keep track of everything as much as I can, try to stay informed. It just seems to me that the people that we end up trusting, those public figures, because sometimes they have a lot of ties and connections to politics, to interest groups, to a lot of money, to a lot of big business, seems like they don't have the average folks' best interest at heart at times. And it's like, it gets really, it turns out to be really bureaucratic. You know what I'm talking about? It gets really just like about the numbers, and the only thing we tend to focus on is like fake version of a greater good, and that fake version of the greater good is only consistent of the people that are actually involved in making those significant changes in whatever realms they're in. So as long as they're being impacted in a positive way, they view it as they're doing something for the greater good. But yeah, man, like, I don't know how I feel about Dr. Fauci. I never, that's the thing, I don't know, I can't trust anybody I can't trust a doctor whose name sounds like a seasonal allergy reaction, dude. Sounds like a sneeze. Fauci. Bless you. Not trying to make fun of anybody's names, but I am trying to point out to the fact that when you're in positions of power, and you're in charge of conducting research, and you go in there, and not maybe personally, but through your research team, through your personnel, conducting research, creating viruses and manipulating viruses to make them stronger, to see what kind of medicine we can produce so that we can fight them. And it's like, yeah, sure, but at the same time, it's like, we got to be careful what kind of genies we let out these bottles, man, because sometimes you let certain things out and there's no way of putting them back in. And at the end of the day, I'm left at the, I don't know if I should be, I wasn't rooting for me to be like happy if I were to find out, this is me going back, I guess, a year. I wasn't rooting to be finding out that this was indeed not a virus that emerged from a bat or a wet market. I wasn't looking forward to finding out yet this was indeed a human-made virus, or a human hiccup. And that's the thing. Right now we're like, where do we stand? Who's responsible? Is the lab in China, in Wuhan, responsible? If so, how do we hold them accountable? Other questions to be asked: were they acting independently? The answer is no, they weren't acting independently. There are all sorts of labs working together all over the world. And where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line? Where do we check our metric of like morals and ethics in accord to technological or financial advancement? You know what I'm talking about? Where do we balance things out, or how do we balance things out? Because we can't just be like, okay, let's produce the most amount of viruses so that we can go ahead and challenge ourselves, so that we can develop the best medicine, so just in case something horrible were to emerge, we can actually go ahead and find it and fight it. Well, it's like, well, you're creating the problem to begin with, so you're not really being part of the solution. It seems like you're actually antagonizing. It seems like you're actually part of the problem. And for me, that's the issue that I have with a lot of things. It's like we have combined politics and a lot of big money with so many important things, and to be honest, it's a little bit disheartening, because again, it just builds up. All it does, it builds up a little bit of more distrust within, between the people and their governments, between people and any industry that gets, the attention. And this, this whole year, this past, 14, 15 months, it's been the health industry that's been under a lot of, I guess, different sorts of pressure. And I love the health industry, whether it's, the EMS workers, hospital workers, nurses, doctors, everybody, your local MD, everybody, like people, majority of the time go into these fields because they want to be doing good things and they want to be helping people. But this peculiar situation, I don't know what to make of it, and I don't know what the next steps are, but I am wondering what is going to happen with Dr. Fauci. What is going to happen with the Wuhan lab? What is going to happen? What are the repercussions? Because what happened? How many businesses have we lost? How many lives have we either directly or indirectly lost to this? And who's to say? My concern is, if we're doing these things and if it's kind of like a normal thing to be doing, who's to say that we won't have a similar event sometime in the future? So where do we draw the line of, just checking ourselves, essentially? That's all I'm trying to ask. Like, who's checking who? Should anybody be held responsible? To what extent? And I'm not here. That's the thing. I never see. I don't like to just scapegoat or like pinpoint the blame on just somebody, but like certain things. If you're in a leadership position, if you're in, if you're a CEO of a company, if you're a whatever, if you're a leader of some sort, people like, look, you do have some level of responsibility. That's all I'm saying. And it's not cool for all these like multi-millionaires, all these like, wealthy people sitting there relaxed during this whole time, while the average folks on the streets are hurting. Everybody who's got to pay rent, who's got to pay a mortgage, who's got to, feed their family, everybody's been feeling it. And it's going to take us some time. And although it's summer, things are definitely getting better. We're definitely starting to open things up. We do need to prepare ourselves for the future so that this type of thing doesn't happen again. All right? Handbrake, skirt, skirt. Let's pull it back somehow, figure out what the heck's going on here. All right? And what else did I want to talk to you guys about today? Get a sip of this. Those are I guess the two main things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. On a silly note, I did see a very fun, cute video of a cop here in the GTA who helped a little baby skunk. The baby skunk had a little McSlurpee or something, a little like cup stuck on his head, and he was like wiggling around, trying to like let himself free. He's getting in there, man. He had that little sweet tooth. Got in there, tried to scoop up some ice cream, leftover ice cream, of course. Or maybe he went into the drive-thru, I don't know. Man, he probably did, man. He probably put on a little raincoat, got on top of like a couple of other skunks. They got into a little raincoat and they drove up. They're like, combo number 2, please. And McFlurry to go. I'm assuming that's how they got it. But you know, they're not really probably keen on sharing and caring. So boy was going to town. He got his head stuck in the cup, and this cop actually took the time to release that bad boy. It was risky business, and mind you, I've actually come across a very similar situation in my own life where I pulled up to a McD's parking lot and enjoyed a drink or two with a burger, and you know, just like watching the parking lot, because that's what you do when you're parked in the parking lot. You eat and you watch the parking lot. And I saw a little skunk come over there. Same situation. He had his head stuck in the little cups, trying to scoop up some ice cream, and he was just like, and every car just like immediately, as soon he was just like going out in every direction, and everybody was immediately turning on their cars, putting it in reverse, just like getting the heck out of there, man. Bumping into each other, driving over each other, because nobody wants to get that stink on themselves. Because if you do, how do you get it off? Is it do you take a bath in tomato juice? What do you do? Do you get new skin? How do you resolve that issue? But this cop was brave enough. He actually went out there and helped out this little fella. It warmed up my heart. Shout out to all the good cops out there doing good, positive things. And that's what it is, man. We don't hear too much of the positives. We don't hear. It's always the negative stuff. Somebody got shot. Somebody got shanked. This, that, and the other. But whatever. It is what it is. And that's one thing that I wanted to share with you guys. Everybody coming in together, doing positive things. That's essentially what it's all about. Boys and girls, a lot of questions to be asked, a lot of things to be done, and we're doing it, man. We're doing it. Taking names, kicking butt on a daily, on a weekly. Promises made, promises kept. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in person, man. I want to be incorporating more things, but at the same time, we're staying busy creating. Every week I want to be doing different stuff, and what did we do last week? Got ourselves started on a little painting, didn't we? Prime together, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out that last video, dude. This week we're gonna also get up to a bunch of shenanigans up in here, maybe out there, who knows, but we'll definitely be back here again on Wednesday and Friday and Saturday, and who knows, maybe a Tuesday, maybe a Thursday, maybe a Sunday, all the days of the week. Just making it work, baby. That's what it is. Teamwork makes the dream works. Stay safe out there, but also what I want you to do, if you like these videos, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube by searching Rob Sadri over there. You're going to get the full-length videos. Also, follow me on Instagram. Hit those darn like buttons. Hit it with your head. Like, really give it a good headbutt. Hit that like button. And also, if you really want to like take it to the next level, because you're that type of person, maybe you're on your like TC level, right? If you see something, you got to do something. If you just can't sit still anymore, if you see something, you got to make a positive difference. So if you want to make that positive difference, go on a Patreon. 3-tier system working for you. Sign up for whichever one makes you feel comfortable and give back if you like, and if you don't, do it anyway. Who knows? World's your oyster. Go get it out there. Whatever you're focused on, I'm here to support you 100% from here, out there, in here. Putting out good vibes, putting out positive energy. Go get it, you tiger. Do it. Those are my tiger impressions. We'll get it going. See y'all very soon. Peace out.